Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile, Essence League. We are playing with Tukohama's Totemancer, and today we're gonna test ourselves against Izaro in the Merciless Labyrinth. We are level 76, nearing on 77, so I hope this is gonna be enough to actually defeat the Labyrinth. Let's give it a try.
You stand before the gates of the Lord's Labyrinth. Within these walls, the Lady of the Goddess is watching.
So it's a level 68 area, same as the first tier of maps. Difficulty, of course, of the Labyrinth always lies a bit higher than a regular content. And especially Izaro's fight itself. So we are gonna see how far we will make it and how challenging the fight is gonna be. As you saw previous episode in the Malachi fight, we are not immortal, not against lower level content, and most of the time Izaro is more difficult than Malachi, so we really will have to be careful. Most of the time, nothing truly interesting is hidden in the side areas over there. But for now, I'm just skipping it and hoping there's going to be an exit to this area to the north, following familiar patterns. And indeed, familiar pattern holds true. Still getting a fair chunk of experience here. There's gems leveling left and right. That's always useful. And there is the exits. There's a golden door here, which means there's a golden key. Somewhere. Question is, how hard do we have to work for it? So far most mobs are as unchallenging as you would expect them to be. The true challenge is gonna be in in Izaro. Maybe if we find Fluffy, then of course we will have to fight him.
A locked door merely encourages curiosity.
And there is the mansion annex, which will hold the key we are looking for. Indeed. If you've run the labyrinth enough times, at some point you will become familiar with the patterns, which makes it easier to run. Oh. Standing on the bit that was burning, not terribly bright. Okay. So, this is a nice safe corner. We are out of movement flasks. Okay, it's running lower now, so we can go through. There are some areas in between that we could hide in, of course. Oop. Okay. Like that. Always wary of using too many flasks, because you will put yourself at risk once you're out of flask charges. Strongbox, we can do that. Level our gems while we are at it. Ooh, that one got nicely sliced and diced. I think we've run around enough. Time to close the loop. Then the key is going to be somewhere around here on the minimap, usually. It's actually a bit more closer to here. Chuk, chuk, chuk. it. Is there another door all the way in the back? Could be. Can we jump there? Yes, we can. Resummon the golem because the golem is getting weaker. And then we just sneak in via the back door.
Where there's a golden key, there must be a golden door.
Yes, golden door. We have found it. And then, yes, there's a path over there. This is meant as a quick way back. Over here. Lever opens the one-way door, and we can get out. Much more stuff to murder. And there is the door.
Let the day dawn,
Hello.
golden with
Goodbye.
possibility.
Oh, were you waiting for us? I think it was hiding. Could be that it was hiding on this door, on this side of the door, and it just snuck underneath when we opened it. Very real possibility. In the end, it doesn't really matter, because it's dead. Silver key, but just a single exit, which is gonna be convenient. Inspiration. Clicking it is the hardest part. Silver key. Yeah. So it's probably gonna be this corridor to get it. So we're gonna ignore it and just move on with our lives. Make a strong box here. Strong boxes, they do have a chance of dropping currency, so we might as well do something useful with it. Increase rarity. I'm happy with that. Just use the shockwaves to summon things, because there's always a bunch of cowards there. Just run away. Ooh. A gavel. Don't think I've had a gavel yet. Chimeria's Mole, level 60. Increased physical damage, add some cold. Crit chance, cold damage with weapons. Increased rarity of items dropped by frozen enemies. That's a fun little item. That is one of the nice things about the uniques in Path of Exile. There's a lot of them.
Oh, the weary traveler draws close to the end of the path.
Okay, let's see what the first trial is gonna bring us.
The Emperor beckons, and the world attends.
Ah, a portal. Portals we can deal with, they're not terribly difficult, so I think we're just gonna keep the portals alive.
Give up yourself.
It's gonna give us an extra treasure key in the end, so that is worth it to me.
Inexhaustible.
That was the first step.
Loyalty is a fire that spreads quickly if the forest is dry.
And let's stick with the usual plan of heading north. Oh, once you got a streak going, you don't want to break it. So we keep going north. Interesting. Pressure plate, time-based. Yep. Good. So far, so good. Go through here. Just. Ah. Ow, ow. Okay. Didn't hurt as much as I had expected it to. Still hurt. There's a poem here that indicates we're on the right track. Come through here, there. You need a little help because you're resistant to fire. Ditto here. Dead end room though. So we keep going. Spikes, that's not gonna be in our feet. One way, so we can just safely take the exit and know that it is the right way. Now we got a split, so there's gonna be two wrong directions and one correct one, which leads east. I suspect the one east is gonna be the trial as well. Might as well kill this man. Yes. This one is just broken, so there's no traps on that door. Here, okay. The fact that there's a bunch of lava here, kind of a clear signal that something is up here, so probably gonna lead us to the exit. Or something that is really worth getting, despite not being the exit. Only way to find out is to go through. More lava. You can just jump over here though. And an exit of sorts. So mention annex. Let's see if this is going to be top, bottom, or right. Bottom, a silver cache. Not what we were looking for. At least not what I was looking for. Probably could have known with the fire trap stuff. But now we know for sure. So, next one. So while we are looking for the next trial, let's do a little bit of a builder recap, shall we? Oh, Aspirant's trial, of course. I did call it. Path to the right would be the exit.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation. To entertain doubt is to dance with death.
Let's keep the build recap for the next
Some things that
intermission then.
slumber should never be awoken.
Ah, golems.
Violence is delicate.
Okay, you. Don't really like it to have Izaro be uber buffed by those things. Let's see if we can stop these. That works rather well. He's gonna get his third BB now.
Loyalty.
Okay. Lesson learned here. If you get surrounded too much, damage is gonna stack.
The loyal must be avenged. Receive your sentence. You were born for this.
Okay.
Pity the emperor who sits alone on his throne.
Okay. Time to move on. It's gonna be one or two areas. So, build recap. The Totemancer, I think it worked out rather well. Started out as a build concept. I playtested it initially on Standard League with a Marauder I had lying about. It's actually by my old Juggernaut that I rebuilt into a Chieftain. Go free respecs every season. And I think the build holds up very well. We got 5000 life, we have a decent block chance, we got all elemental resists maxed. 11k armor. We got just over 400 health regenerated per second. We are rather tanky. All those aspects of the build worked out rather well. In terms of offense, we have the totems. They deal damage. They absorb damage. They taunt enemies. They provide us with a degree of safety and hands-off means of killing. Again, it kind of worked out the way it was all intended. So far we've been running up to tier 5 maps. That's been going pretty well. The gear we're using is not the most powerful gear. No, it's just stuff I have been finding. Minimal amount of trading because of course Essence League is more of a crafting league. So I figured let's focus on that. In hindsight, more of a leveling trading thing rather than, or a leveling crafting thing rather than endgame stuff. But maybe in the true endgame for people who are master crafters already, they get more options. Get to optimize things a little bit more, but for the rest of us mortals, I think trading for gear in the endgame still the most optimal way of obtaining new items. Alright, we are doing alright. The build is fun to play. Just plopping down totems. It's sort of kind of similar to a minion monster build, but at the same time it's also not, because you're way more involved with positioning of your totems. You're way more focused on... Oh, you can kite yourself, because of course Ancestral Bond doesn't allow us, or not Ancestral, yeah, Ancestral Bond doesn't allow us to do any damage. It means that we don't use any active spells, we don't do any damage ourselves, and as such all we do is plop down totems and get out of the way. That is a completely different style from most of the builds I've played so far. Though minion monsters do get close, because you, to a certain degree, you can get away with letting the minions do a lot of the work. But most of the time I do pick 1 or 2 active skills as well and just have some fun with that. The downside of the build though is that it... No, I've been leveling this guy to 76. And no, I think I've had enough of this playstyle for now. This is not something that suits me. It's fun to play, fun to try, but in the end it's not active enough. So that's a lesson learned, I suppose. Oh, that said, I might return to the character a couple more times now, just to run some maps or stuff like that, but nothing gonna be set in stone. It's gonna be now when I feel like it, rather than on a schedule, so to say. Also, this is probably not going to be overly interesting. Let's move on to something that has the potential to hold an exit. And there you'll see that corner was where the exit actually was. You never know. All you can do is make assumptions or test everything. Don't want to test everything. Ooh.
A bond of blood breaks, but from the carnage, new bonds may be formed.
That was exterminate a bloodline prophecy and the final aspirant's trial.
An aspirant can afford to be promising. An emperor must keep those promises.
And then we do all this. So indeed, we cleared the second wave. We still have the portals, so this is going to be rather entertaining.
You must navigate your empire through troubled waters.
Okay, we're just gonna curse him, totem him, and then kite.
Don't give up yet.
Okay. One of the big upsides of this build, of course, is that you don't have to be near the opposition in order to do damage, and as such, the Izaro fight does have some upsides in that all you have to do is position the totems and then get the heck out of the way. And Izaro breathes his last breath and he falls, dispossessed of the goddess. And we can ascend.
Before your emperor, you are worthy. Before the goddess of justice, you are worthy. Receive our blessings, embrace our gifts, and rise, Ascendant. For this is the ending that we all deserve.
Decree of Light. Deals a portion of your mainland damage in an area around you, creates consecrated ground, causing you and your allies to regenerate life. 5-second cooldown. This is one of the best rolls we could have gotten on our gloves. We don't do damage, but if we take a crit, getting consecrated ground for free basically means we will have a silver flask that is gonna periodically trigger without consuming sips. And now our final upgrade. Well, technically there is the Uber Labyrinth, but that's not part of the regular game. That's a bonus. So we have two choices. Tawa Forced Strength. And I really should have looked up the clues of how to pronounce these things, because I did save the comments I gotten from multiple viewers actually on pronunciation of these names, but it's a interesting way of mapping pronunciation of words in a language that's not your own, transcribed in English, which is also not my native language. So, and of course, if you're describing how to pronounce something, that's always interesting. So let's hope it was okay. Tawa Forced Strength. We increase our armor 40%, 10% to all elemental resistances, reduce mana cost of skills, and 10% increased strength. Strength, of course, gives life. So 10% increased. Let's say that's actually on top. That's going to be 34 strength, so 17 base life, which is maybe going to be 50 life on our total. The 10 to all elemental resistances is going to be the most interesting bit. And of course, extra life regenerated per second, because I really do like my life regen. Similarly here, 10% increased fire damage. This is more aggressive, and life regen. Then we get the mouse Flames Advance. Chance to ignite and increase damage against burning enemies. So here we get an interesting distinction. Ignite is one of the means of causing something to burn. But Searing Bond burns. Righteous Fire burns. So we basically will get this 35% bonus to damage all the time, because we are burning everything all the time. And the chance to ignite is going to apply to Shockwave Totem and to whatever the Flame Golem does. No, I don't think it's going to be the Golem, but the Totem probably will. I think we're going to go for this one. It's the aggressive bonus. More damage, always good. And here, well, resistances, we're doing all right. And, well, we'll notice the increase in damage when we actually deal damage to something. It's not going to be listed anywhere, of course. But that concludes my planned content for the playthrough of Tukohama's Totemancer. I hope you enjoyed this series. Please let me know what you liked. Oh, give me some feedback for things that I might be able to improve upon. And then I will continue playing our Toxic Viking, Lacerator, Gladiator. Yes, that's a whole mouthful. I will be continuing that series in order to get to the center of the Atlas, and we're gonna focus on the Hydra and the Chimera because that's where I'm closest to. If I manage to defeat those and there's still ample time, I will travel around in order to see if I can also take on the other Guardians, but that is of course all assuming I actually can get to the Guardians. But that is the build, it's on standard, that's where I have the most currency. It's where I've been able to obtain the highest level of items, and basically make the character as powerful as possible. So I actually have a chance at going after those high endgame maps. So for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Either with the Toxic Viking or with a new series that I will be starting whenever there's gonna be a new league. Bye bye.